And welcome to the nation's capital here at GIO Stadium, where the Canberra Raiders are hosting the Brisbane Broncos. It is a wet and rainy night down here, and joining me in the commentary box is Leo St. Hendricks. How are things, Leo?
Everything's been pretty good, Mac, and it's great to commentate with a former Broncos captain here. I want to know your thoughts on the Broncos season so far, Mac.
Honestly, I think the Broncos have been a bit hard done by, and tonight they're going to be looking for some gritty determination to make sure that they do not start the season 0-4. And up against the Canberra Raiders, that is one hell of a challenge tonight, Leo.
Yeah, exactly right. The Raiders, they've also been a bit hard done by. They've lost. The two losses have been very close to the wire. They lost to the Dolphins, I believe, 1-8, and they also lost to the Titans, I believe, 1-8 last week. And they're going to come back aggressive and try and win this game at home. Well, so good way to both teams play in round 4.
And looking at some history back in the SRL, the weight of winnings is definitely on the Broncos side, but not by a lot. They've definitely won the last two games against the Raiders, but both of those games in season 8 and season 9 were only won by 2 points. So if there is going to be a winner tonight, it's definitely going to be close, as the Raiders have the first touch of the ball, already up to their 43rd tackle. Back on the inside, Riley Flynn, first season as captain, and one hell of a captain's knock the last couple of games. Unfortunately, not enough to get him through to the winner's podium multiple times, but definitely doing himself a lot of favours as the Raiders, Moose Lee kicking it down, and a solid set to start the game, except for that. My goodness, the Broncos are here. They are far out, and they are putting a stamp on the game already. Eddie Lewis, 100-meter try under the goalpost. God, you got to love that, Leo.
Yeah, that's a great way to start the game. The Raiders looked a little bit shocked with that play. They weren't expecting that at all, and they catch them by surprise, the Broncos. It's a great way to start the game, hoping that they could get their first win tonight.
Now, as we see Jack Carl trying to slot it over for the first of, well, he'd be hoping many tonight. Do you want to run us through some of the changes that the Broncos have in their list tonight, Leo?
Yeah, so they've gone with Callum Murray, who played prop, I believe, last week. They put him in the centres. They're going for a completely different forward pack. Galaxy's slotting in. The return of Matt Galaxy in the offseason is one that everyone has been hoping for a long time. He's came back after a stint in the Super League. He's come back to the SRL, and he's playing that number 9 spot. Eddie Oliver, he's up for the challenge. He's playing 13 tonight. A couple of changes. Lewis is playing at 8. And I believe Caleb Jeff has also moved to number 10. I'm actually going to go for the Raiders changes.
Yep, go for it. We've got basically one big change for the Raiders tonight. Instead of starting half tonight for...
Caleb
for
Jeff.
a second, because there is the beach sprinter right now sprinting his way.
That's a great run.
Just being pulled down. We'll come back to the Raiders team list in a second as Jeff back across. Dingo. Well, they've tried expertly just there, but the Raiders get away with one hell of a gimme. Do you want to run us through the change on the Raiders team list tonight, Leo?
Yeah, so Dane Blaine has moved from 7 to back in the centres. Great run there from Bennett. Gives it off to Jimmy Ralph. That's the major change here so far.
It's Bennett again.
Bennett.
But he drops the ball. Simon Hunt cops one straight to the chest, and we've got another turnover. So every time it looks like we're about to open our mouth tonight, Leo, there is a line break or a dash off down the field, and, well, it's going to be an entertaining night if this is what we're going to have.
Yeah, players in like a yo-yo tonight. Eddie Oliver, big run there. Offloads it to Sharp.
I'll float back to Blaine. So, attack is a definite and defense is optional tonight. Okay, well, 6-7 minutes in almost, and we've had, I think, maybe one completed set as the Raiders, another break. Irwin chooses to... No, passes it to Lee, does not hold the ball. 20 metres out, third tackle. I would hate to be either of these captains out here because I am clenching and I'm not even playing at the moment, Leo.
Yeah, exactly right. It's almost like it's just a non-stop commentator's curse. That's a great ball. Bennett will score. It looks like he's playing on the wing. Bennett.
Yeah.
The move with Bunnies. He's playing really well. We actually had a try assist last week, rubber. And Jesse Bennett gets a 4-pointer.
So I don't know how Jesse Bennett found himself over there on the left wing, but thank God for the Raiders, he did. And now Berkeley lining up for probably as difficult a kick as you can get on a night like this down in Canberra. He's shaping it up. But just a bit too far. Okay, the teams have had a bit of a time to reset now. Maybe a bit of a pulse check. Jack Carl's about to kick off again. If you are looking at the Broncos, Leo, and you want to win tonight, who are your strike players? Who needs to get the ball?
Well, looking at the Broncos team, I think that they went really big with their signings, and I think the addition of Chaz Dingo and Corey Bell, could they work together? That was a big question mark. So I'm looking at either or, maybe both of them, actually, to see if they can do something, maybe work together as a partnership, work on that combination. And even like, can Jack Carl lead this team by example? Can he spot this team, put him in a great position to win this game? As a lead by example, he's basically playing both half positions with Dingo sort of learning the half role. What about you, hey Mac?
Yeah, I've loved so far the back line of the Broncos. It's one of the reasons I've said they've been a bit hard done by, because I'd say, or I'd hazard a guess, they've got one of the best back lines in the comp. So the fact that they are where they are, staring down 0-4 to begin the season, it's a bit perplexing. But if anyone's going to get it done tonight, and from what we've seen so far, it's been absolutely phenomenal. Second tackle up to the 30. It's definitely going to have to be their back three. So we're talking Bell, Sharp, and of course Dingo straight down the middle. As Galaxy passes it to Murray, back to Oliver. Playing lock again tonight. An interesting move. Hopefully it works for the young man. Playing it there on the 10th, fourth tackle. Coming across Carl. Jeff, not able to massively sprint off down the field that time, but some good post-contact meters to set up a fifth tackling option. But Dingo is unable to do anything, and the Raiders, some great defense to save themselves from a certain try there.
Yeah, exactly right. And wow, Falcon there. I'm also going to say Eddie Oliver had a big role in winning Hales their first title. They came off the bench, played a forward role, and the Broncos see that, and they've gone and put him running forward role.
Lomu just shy of the 40. First tackle. Flynn, good little dart. Can't get through. Taken down there. Second tackle. Wonderful field position here for the Raiders as Lomu dances up through the line, and Corey Bell has to put a stop to that, but that takes him out of the defensive effort. Third tackle. Bennett. Good ball to Richards. Richards is powering forward, but just can't get there. Fourth tackle. Where do they go? They keep going that way. Bennett back on the inside. Onto his back. Taking it back to the 10. Jesse Bennett, he had a phenomenal game last week. They didn't win, but as you said earlier, he got himself a try assist, kicked his own grubber. And they're going to need a little bit more of that magic tonight, it would seem, because Berkeley, he hands it over 5 meters from the line.
Yeah, exactly right. And I want to see both teams just be a little bit more creative with the ball. Not a bit too risky, but a bit more creative. There you go. That's a bit of a creative play. They're down the short side. Bob gets himself about 20 meters from that one tackle.
Carl, long ball out to Lewis, and Lewis hitting it straight up back down the middle. 30 meters out, second tackle. 6 minutes off our first prop interchanges. Plays. Moving into second row this season, getting at least to the 40. Third tackle. Slowly working their way up the field, but that flat ball is not going to work. The Broncos, they might find themselves in chance here for a 40-20. Eddie Oliver kicking. It's a solid boot to the ball there. Does it have the angle? It does not.
Oh.
Flynn returns it and can't get around Burl. I think that's probably the first good set that the Broncos have had tonight, Leo.
It's a great, and then off with a great kick as well. And Eddie, he's not really in that kicking role at hooker most of his career. He's moved to 13, and he looks a more free as Rowan Kowal just absolutely pushes aside his defender there. Hey, Mac, do you believe that? Oh, hold on.
Hold on. Wally Allen chucks a bit of a goosey there and somehow has made his way through the line and scored under the post. That came out of nowhere, Leo.
Yeah, I was actually going to say, Mac, do you? There'll be a try coming up soon, and it's just stopped my words. They've hushed me really quickly, and with a strong response, that's how you get the crowd up and running. They're really energetic and empathetic, this crowd, the Raiders, and they're really strong. They're really strong, really strongly connected to their players. It's really tough to win in Canberra as well.
Especially when you're coming up against a forward pack like we've got from the Raiders tonight. When you've got Irwin and Kaval working in as your props, and then you've got the men like Allen and Richards as your edge forwards, not to mention the teacher screaming up down the middle. Again, we've got probably the best back line in the league up against one of the best forward packs in the league, Leo.
Yeah, it's going to be an absolute great game. A very two well-balanced teams up against each other. It's a great comparison to put these two together, and that forward pack is really scary for the Raiders. I'd hate to run at them. You're a prop. You would understand how it feels most of the time to run at that forward pack. But yeah, it's a scary look. Raiders.
As they get across the 30, way back in the pocket for Berkeley, and they really only make about 5 meters off that one. Third tackle, Broncos muscling up in defense here, and they need to. They can't let the Raiders score again. Kaval breaks through the line, offloads back on the inside to Bennett. Bennett, lovely pick up there from Bennett. One-handed reach out, somehow kept hold of the ball. Kaval gets about 32, 34 meters out, and Raiders forced to punt it off. So kicking it down here, they're trying Sharp's wing, cheeky little punt into the back line, and somehow they're able to keep them here. The Broncos, they're now going to be fighting out of their half.
And do you believe that the Raiders and the Broncos, could you see them in the top 8 at the end of the season?
With big hits like that, then yeah, the Raiders definitely. No one's even talking Smokies yet. The Raiders are a definite contender for the top 8 there. As Berkeley pushing hard, 5 meters out, first tackle, prop interchanges happening imminently. Bennett can't muscle his way over. Good defense there on the line from the Broncos. Second tackle. There we go. There's one prop going off. There goes the other. We're about to have Preston Beats and Quinton Conter coming on. One of the biggest blokes in the league, and that was a risk. That was a risky pass. Berkeley onto his back, pulling it back, settling down the tempo just a little bit, putting it up for revision, but I think we all know what's about to happen.
And then that was a quick try. Yeah, from the bunker. Correct decision.
Here we go. No, Murray defuses that, and the Broncos get away with another one. If this keeps happening, though, it's only basically a guarantee that the Raiders will be over very, very shortly.
Yeah, you would have to believe that the glass is going to crack, especially this defensive line. Corey Bell, that's a great run, though. Gets him out of danger. 40. Onto the 30 now. Onto the 20. Oh, I've never seen that before.
No, that was cheeky. Duck back on the inside and sort of jinx it out to the wing. I haven't seen that in a long, long time. And here we go. Nathan Macquarie, quite a handsome young man there. Fourth tackle just on the other side of the 10. Justin plays, just takes up a settler, 5 meters out. Where do they go? Where do they kick? Who's in the pocket? They take it back to Carl. Carl puts it high. Where are the chasers? Murray is over. Callum Murray, a prop last week. He's in the centres this week, and he's just got the Broncos back in the game.
I haven't really quite a while, sort of like a Mitch Orbison type of player there, Callum Murray. That's great points. That's why he's on the centers role or tries like that.
Oh, beautiful kick there from Captain Carl. It is currently 10 points to Canberra, 12 points to the Broncos. And the Broncos, they now have their 2 fresh props on, and they have Riley Holmes and Nathan Macquarie. Looking at these 2 benches, you got Holmes and Macquarie on the one side, you got Beats and Cotter on the other, Leo. Which bench looks the strongest, fittest, and more hungry?
Well, it looks like the Raiders look a little bit more experienced. We've got to see Evans and Herman come on as well. But even Raymond's also a very experienced veteran. So they look very evenly matched, but I think I've just got to give just a slight advantage to the Raiders. I feel like they've... Oh, big hit there from Macquarie. I feel like Macquarie is sort of at that stage where he still needs a little bit more time to develop, and he could be a full-time starter, in my opinion. And but the Raiders look like their bench could most importantly play a starting role elsewhere. Corey Bell, that's a great step.
And Dingo, when Dingo's playing in the halves and he sees an open line, it was a miracle to pull him down there. Short blindside raid. Lee, is Lee over? No, he's held up. And that's a shame because I think Lee, he's still searching for his first meat pie in the SRL. So, that's heartbreaking if you're a Broncos fan. Here we go. The Raiders, 25 minutes in the half, 2 points deficit, fighting out of their own half, and a great start to that set here, Leah.
Yeah, and you've got to admit, though, the Broncos, they look very dangerous coming out of there. The Raiders, their defensive line works in their favour, and they force an error there in a perfect position to force an error on your goal line defence. Miss Lee almost gets there. The Raiders, they're looking to go the other way. They're already up to their halfway line, about two tackles to go as well. So maybe we could see a little bit more danger zones coming here for the Brisbane defensive line.
And speak of the devil, Riley Flynn gets around one, can't get around the other. Forced to kick it here on the 40, kicking here basically on the halfway mark here from Bruce Lee. And he absolutely boots the ever-loving hell out of that pigskin. And Lewis, threatens to come back through the line. Muscled back, and we have another defensive arm wrestle here. Riley Holmes.
That's the 5th big hit.
Yeah, and that was Preston Beats, I think, and you do not run at Preston Beats. He is a big man with big shoulders as the Broncos continue their steamroll up the sideline. 4th tackle. Very slow play the ball there. Plays. Sees half a gap and just can't squeeze through it, and the Raiders force them to kick it from just on the other side of the halfway line. And Carl, it's not a terrible kick, but the Raiders, they've just been gifted some excellent field position here, Leo.
Yeah, I think it was sort of aiming towards that corner, trying to kick it maybe to touch to get a breather. I'm going to take into account it is pretty bad weather to play footy as well. It's a rainy day. The wind's got to be there, pushing the ball away, and your kicks need to be basically perfect tonight. Also, a bit of pressure on the opposition here.
As Blaine plays it 25 metres out, 4th tackle. They get just over the 20, which gives them just enough of a field placement to put in a good attacking kick here. And we got a 2 pass back to Berkeley, who puts it high. Where are the kick chasers? That was really, really lucky. But Corey Bell, just shy of the 10-metre line, 1st tackle. The Broncos, they look dangerous, but they need to get out of their half. The Raiders have got them penned. Something fierce here, Leo.
Yeah, exactly right. And I feel like there's no set play. There's no opportunity for them unless they have a bit of a line break, a bit of an offload for them to get into space. I said earlier, there might be a little bit of creativity as Sharp steps one, gets an offload to Holmes. Whereas I feel like the Raiders look like they're more creative with the footy. They've got their set plays ready, and they look more fitter than the Broncos so far. I'm hoping they can regather their form, the Broncos, or else it's going to look like a Raiders win here.
And really dangerous there. When you look down the sheets of both teams, the Raiders, they are a much younger team compared to the Broncos. So having a bit of stamina in those legs can see them really push hard and push deep into these halves. As Lee getting it up, Wally Allen muscled back there by some staunch defense, third tackle. Just about 7 minutes left in this half as Bolt makes
Oh,
a
it's a
little
great
bobble.
run.
Oh, Corey Burl, thank goodness you're there, Jack Carl is saying. Lee, long ball out to Ralph, and Ralph tries to carry over with Nathan Macquarie. Can't quite get there. Fifth tackle, where do they go? Who do they kick? Lee again does a bit of a nothing kick, and the Broncos, well, they're holding on, but the question is, how much longer?
Yeah, they've got to start trying to maybe put some grubbers on the other side. And I believe that was like a no-look kick there. Tried to get a little bit too creative with the footy. The Raiders and the Broncos, they need to really do something that going to give them a big run or a big... Somebody needs to step out of their comfort zone and do something, or else they're going to be defending by a half. And it's just, when you're up against a team like the Raiders, they're a dangerous side, especially on the attack. So hopefully we get a little bit of creativity for the Broncos. But the Raiders, they're doing really well here.
Yeah, they've managed to keep the Broncos on the other side of the 40, and Riley Flynn's returning it straight up the guts. Oh, Corey Bell, he dived it air, and he was only just lucky there was some cover defense there. But long ball out to Lomu. Lomu, stay in. Drag down, second tackle, 2 centimeters in the line. Cotter, straight up the guts, over the 10-meter line. Third tackle, less than 5 minutes in the half. This is going to be demoralizing for the Broncos if the Raiders can get across. Fourth tackle, where do they go? Do they go back down the blind side? Nope, come wide. Bennett straight up the middle again, take a settler. 5 meters out, straight in line with the dot. Coming back, Lee puts it high. It's up there forever. It's back for Flynn. And the Broncos hold on again. Leo, this must be exhausting for that defense out there.
Yeah, exactly right. And I feel like maybe that's why their attack hasn't been as strong as the Raiders. They've just been defending. The Raiders, again, they look dangerous. Once Riley Flynn gets the ball, you're just going to sit there and pray as a Broncos fan that he doesn't score he can score from anywhere on the field. Left corner, down the middle, right corner, he can score anywhere. So he's a dangerous player, probably one of the most dangerous players in the entire league as well. So they're doing well, the Broncos defense, keeping him scoreless so far. Took another half to do that, though.
Stingo. Oh, he's pushed back. Not as effective here, breaking through the line as number 7, but he is packing on the meters as he's going tonight. Eddie Oliver taking another kick. Lovely kick all the way down the sideline here for Bolt, but they need to hold on, and they do. Anthony Lee meeting in a wonderful tackle here. The Raiders, from the looks of things, will probably have the last touch of the set. And looking forward to the second half, some questions are going to have to be asked from both teams. What can they do to start scoring again? We haven't had a try for about 20 minutes in the game here, Leo.
Yeah, and I feel like in the second half, they're going to go into their thinking board and think of potential situations where they could score off. And I think for the Raiders, or for both teams, you're going to look at your fullbacks. Flynn and Bell, they're one of the best players in the league. You're going to play through them. As well as I think both defensive lines have been great. So one team's going to have to get tired sooner or later. Hopefully we see some more points though, Mac.
Lovely ball out there to Hunt back on the inside, and that's going to take us, we'll see after the break. And we are back for the second half of what has been an absolute grind fest between these two teams. Canberra Raiders are only behind by 2. Leo, run us through some of those stats we saw at the halftime break.
Yeah, and Raiders were led by a couple. Led by Bennett, who had 4 line breaks, as well as Lumu had also 4 line breaks for the Raiders. And for the Broncos, no one really stood out terms of running meters. Corey Bell had about 100 so far, but it's not the Corey Bell that we know and love so far in the game. Still getting warmed up. We did see Chaz Dingo has made 2 errors, which is extraordinary, as Dingo. And yeah, was there anything you found?
What we definitely saw was that the forwards in the match are definitely being dominant in the Raiders side. The Broncos forwards, the speak of the devil, those Bronco forwards are being dominated across the park. We only had Justin Plays and Caleb Jeff getting anywhere near north of 60 run meters. So if the Broncos want to pull away with this one, they definitely need a bit more out of their big men up the middle.
Exactly right. That's how they were pushing for heavy meters the first half, and they're looking like they're going to do it again.
We're already over the 40, third tackle. Blaine taking it up. Blaine has been swapped into the half position for this second half. We'll see if that proves enough for the Raiders as we're just on the 20. And no, it's not going to... Oh, it is going to be Blaine who's kicking, and he puts up a fairly decent kick. No one really stops it there, but Corey Bell buried there 1 meter off the line, and this is one hell of a sight that we've seen. Eddie Oliver copped that one. Here we go. It's third tackle. We're not even over the 20. It happened in the first half. Is it about to happen again in the second half here, Leo?
Yeah, again, the Broncos on that defensive line once again, and the Raiders were about maybe a tackle away from scoring some points. It's a great step there by the veteran Levi Raymond. He's played for the Warriors last season, taking his talents north. Great step there. Hope you can see some big plays here from the Broncos.
Oh, here comes Flynn. That matchup between Flynn and Bell has been phenomenal all night, and neither one of them looks like they're giving up on the other. As we got Lee, we're up over the 30. Second tackle, 45 minutes in. Will Raiders have first points of the half? Caval bumps off one, carries another one up, 15 meters out. Third tackle, here come the Raiders. Going across, Blaine, Flynn, lovely ball to Lomu, dances around one, over the 10. Fourth tackle, 2 left in the set. That was very long in the tackle there, but the ref keeps his whistle in his pocket. Evans pushing, he's brought down 2 meters out. They've got to ice this. Bennett pushing over on his back. A good set there from the Raiders, but a missed opportunity there, I think, Leo.
Yeah, the possession stats are going to show the Raiders have been dominating this game, but they can't capitalize on that, especially on that last tackle option. There hasn't been that great last tackle option for the Raiders as of yet, and the Broncos again on their defensive line. They need to get like a big play, like in the next couple minutes. Really push them. Gonna take.
The Broncos. I think they got away with a bit of a call just then. Falcon off the ball, straight back to Carl. But that's basically put a big old handbrake on their set there, Leo.
Yeah, 18 meters gain for a set. It's not fantastic. Yeah, that's not the best set that they've had all night. That's probably one of their worst, and the Raiders.
Speechless. Raiders have absolutely speechless.
Wow.
Okay, let's keep.
Happened in the first half as well. Similar time, 8 minutes after the half started.
Yep. I think you can definitely feel the frustration out there from both teams now. It's been a long time since either team scored, and as much as the Raiders are trying to attack, the Broncos somehow keep holding them out, and that is coming across both in, them throwing the ball around desperately at the moment, and the Broncos, they're finally in a good attacking position. So if the Raiders aren't careful here, as Ford holds off one and Eddie Oliver pushes back, is this it? Are the Broncos about to go back over? Oliver plays the ball. Carl up. Not a very deep kick. Lee comes down with it, and unfortunately, good set there from the Broncos. A little bit disappointed there in the fifth tackle option.
Yeah, at least they got up to the side of the field, and they were you know, are allowed to make a little bit of a kick. Oh,
Oh,
there's a play
oh,
on.
oh,
Oh,
oh. Here we go. Lewis, straight back through. He scored the first for the Broncos, and he's only just torn down before he can score another. Here come the Broncos again. This is perfect for them. They needed a mistake to get themselves back up here. Bell, 20 metres out, second tackle, 51 minutes in, 30 minutes left. Dingo, good ball to Oliver. Oliver pushing forward, just shy of the 10. Third tackle, going across. Lewis, smashed. That's about the third one Lewis has copped tonight, and the Raiders are loving it. Simon Hunt, held up, fifth tackle. Where do they go? Go across. Dingo is met, rushing defense. And again, much like the first half, we still are seeing defense, and a struggle from both teams to attack.
Yeah, but I can't lie. I think that's a perfect place to get. We've seen. Oh,
Jesus! The quick play, the ball there for the Raiders, almost catching the offside players, but again the whistle. It's kept in the pocket. Oh no! Oh no! 6 again. Here they go. Raiders, 20 meters out. Wally Allen, first tackle, 15 meters out. They've got an entire set here on the line. The Broncos need to hold on. Caval, we're over the 10. Second tackle. It's the forwards all the way. Bennett, lovely ball to Wally Allen. Again, touched by a Bronco. 0 tackle. And it was inevitable. Irwin is over, and the Raiders are back in the lead.
Yeah, that was almost a bit too easy there for the Raiders. It was going a bit untouched. But the ball has just been there. It's been everywhere. So Raiders, they finally add some points. The fans are back on their feet. It's been a cold, rainy night. Perfect game for footy for some. And for both teams, it's just really not their style of play.
Yeah, and unfortunately there for the Broncos, they've had some absolutely fantastic goal line defense. Dingo just rushing up off the line, and Irwin sneaking in from behind as this rain is bucketing down. You would think that this rain, it is not going to make the ball easy to hold out there, Leo. Which team is a better wet ball player, do you reckon?
I reckon probably the Raiders will climb it. I would say in Canberra, they would it's their home. They've got their fans supporting them as well. And I feel like the Raiders play more of a gritty game, which might benefit in the cold. And we've seen that in the first 55 minutes of this game as well.
As the Raiders 4 points in the lead, 55 minutes into this game. Now fighting out of their half. Richards. Ooh, that was very long in the tackle there. Lucky, the refs tonight, they are not doing anything to sway the game one way or the other, and it is some excellent reffing we're seeing out there. Lee, Blaine, pushing back, can't quite get to that 40-meter line. They might still be in 40-20 kick range here, but they choose to run the ball instead. Probably a good position, but the Broncos, that is an absolutely excellent defensive set there. And should be in good position for a good attacking set if we haven't just jinxed them by saying that right now, Leo.
I'll be on third tackle, there'll be a knock on or something, but hopefully there isn't. It's just been one of those games for both teams where they just want the game to be done. Hopefully they could get away with a win here. I think both teams have sort of deserved a win in their own part. The Broncos did really well to hold off for that amount of time, about 30 minutes they held off Raiders. And I think the Raiders have done really well getting in the attacking scenarios there.
As the Broncos, they've got to their fifth tackle option. They didn't get as far down the field as they probably could have. The Raiders doing some pretty decent work in defense there. And here comes Lomu. Corey Bell forced to cover yet another tackle there. That man is looking exhausted out there as the Raiders already over the 40. Second tackle. Caval pushing forward. Playing the ball. Coming wide. Wally Allen again trying to bust up through the guts and just being pulled down. We're now in the Broncos half. Irwin, another forward, another run up. You would wonder why. Oh, there we go. That's why they're not giving it to their backs.
Yeah, it was a bit lazy there from Dane Blaine. Just didn't want the ball in that scenario. As Dylan Sharp will now hold the ball. I thought he actually dropped it too for a second there.
Plays. They're almost at the 30. We're about to see the last prop interchanges of the night in about 20 seconds here. As Lewis has had an absolute lovely game so far, even if he has spent most of it shouldered down in the dirt. Oliver almost gets over the 20. He's got about 4.5 minutes left in him as well. Galaxy down the blind side. Bell gets around 1. He's over the 10, but he can't get past that rushing defense. We've got a perfect chance for another attacking kick here, however. Raymond out to Carl. Carl puts it high. It's weighted well, but Bolt diffuses it. And the Raiders are, again, lucky to get away with another one, Leo.
Yeah, the Broncos, I thought... Oh, Eddie Oliver. He's there. He's been knocked on the floor, but he's got back up every single time. He makes a big play there before he gets subbed off. Wow. Oh, Corey Bell. Oh, I didn't actually see that fullback there. It was through.
Here we go. Coming across. This is the best chance all night. Eddie Oliver put onto his back, however. They'll bring it back to the 10-metre line. They've still got 2.5 tackles or so left in the set to use. Third tackle. Coming over. Murray. Oh, that's... Well, that alone sums up everything that's been happening to the Broncos tonight, I think, there, Leo.
Yeah, I couldn't have said that better myself. The Broncos, they've been all over the park. They've been showing flashes of a really, really good side, and they've shown flashes of that. They're showing flashes of that.
Yeah, that frustration is a killer out there, and as the rain just comes down harder.
Yeah, exactly right. And I feel like some of their players just get there 100%. Eddie Oliver, I think they should have ice packs for him when he exits the field. He's been smashed more times than I've ever seen before in my life. He's been hit the floor. He's basically cut the grass for him, Eddie Oliver. But he's gotten up every single time, and he's given that passion. I think that's what Jack wanted from his players. And yeah, I like. He's a bit of a soldier. I think you've played with him. You've been his captain. How is he, like, at training?
Eddie, he's a Bronco man through and through. He absolutely bleeds the maroon and white there. So you won't find another man in the league, in the Broncos at least, who wears that horse on their sleeve quite like him. The fact he's going off in about another minute will probably kill him, because as a dummy half, he usually plays the full 80 minutes. As Herban, here we go.
That's a great play.
Herban finding himself off the bench this season. The Maltese Falcon puts it down, has jumped way over the top of Levi Raymond. And here we go. The Raiders are now back-to-back scorers.
Yeah, that was a bit of brilliance there from the veteran. Like you said, the Maltese Falcon, he's sort of a club legend here at the Raiders. I had the pleasure to play with him for a minute training. He's an absolute professional at what he does. Very reserved, but he's very, very composed and versatile as well.
Mostly off and unfortunately the Raiders, with Alan Berkeley off the field for most of this half, they've had to have Moose Lee come in and do the kicking duties. But 8 points in front. You would hope, if you're a Raiders fan, that those misconversions aren't going to be detrimental by the end of the game.
Yeah, with 15 minutes to go, it's still, that conversion could actually lose them the game. The Broncos are a team that can just click and they can put 2 tries on you very quickly. And it's only a try and a penalty conversion away from tying the game up.
And at the moment, we should see, there's some locks interchanged at the moment. Wally Allen.
Oh!
Lee. Lovely ball. Somehow gets away with that one. He's still
Oh, he
off.
w'd as well.
Throw a dummy. They are not trying to massage this one home. They are throwing the ball around like no one's choice. And if I was out there, if I was Riley Flynn looking behind that ruck, I would be telling them just to hold the damn ball as Wally Allen gets across the 10-meter line. Fourth tackle, 14 minutes left in the half. Going wide. Back on the
Ooh,
inside
that's
to
a great-
Lee. Oh, almost over. If the Raiders score here, you could almost say that's it tonight for the Broncos. But the Broncos, they hold on one more time. Unfortunately, talking about time, it is not in their favour. They've got 13 minutes left, and they've got to get up the other end of the field and score very, very soon, Leo.
Exactly right. Simon, he's been. I think that's his second try saver as well on Riley Flynn. He's been a powerhouse defensively. Had a good run there previously as well. So, oh, there he is again. Oh,
Oh, there goes his head.
that's good. Right, that one.
As Carl booting as far down the field as he possibly can. They should be playing it here 30 metres out. Like I said, they need to score now. They've got a two-try game to make up this deficit. And, well, it's the SRL, and anything can happen, Leo.
Yeah, exactly right. And it's been done before, actually. Oh, plays!
Laxey. Oh, second tackle, though. Carl plays, pushed back. Third tackle, plenty of time left in this set. Plays the ball very slowly. Blindside raid.
Oh.
Forward pass. Ooh, okay. We're back to it. You can keep clenched if you want, Broncos fans, but there's still 11 minutes left. That's plenty of time for 8 points in this match.
Yeah, I feel like you just needed to go slow on that play because you could afford to go slow on that play. So you didn't have to rush next couple of sets to get points. They could have rushed it as Flynn makes a break.
Here we go. We're already up over the 50. Third tackle. We're about to enter our last 10 minutes. Lomu, he's been breaking the line all night, and he almost gets through that one. Fourth tackle. Lane, long ball out to Lee. Lee, halves, linking up. Push back over the 30, forced to punt it down again. Punting it to either of these wingers or even to Corey Bell is dangerous. The Raiders, if they want to win this one, they need to hold sharp down, and they do with some excellent defense there. 8 points. They're basically going to be having to score 1 point a minute here, and the hope is slowly drowning out of these Broncos fans, Leo.
Yeah, exactly right. And time is definitely not playing a factor in their hand. They're slowly losing this game, but it has been done before. The Cowboys last season got their first win against Warriors. As you all believe, the Warriors last season were title contenders and lost that game in the last 8 minutes. It can be done. Everyone has seen it last season. They show that same brilliance from the neighbors.
Well, we only have to go back to last week with the Cowboys winning it. No, the Tigers, sorry, I should say. The Tigers winning it on the bell with a return kick. So, again, we've said it before, but anything can happen here in the SRL. As the Raiders want nothing happening here in the SRL. Lynn working off down the line, and Corey Bell in hot pursuit, but that offload, almost got them back across the line. Again, if they score here, that's it. Put a pencil through the game. 0 tackle. Lane. Oh, is he on his back? Oh, we're taking it up. Handsome fellow, sending it up for the bunker. Yeah, no, he's on his back. But the Raiders, they have a full set here on the line. And the Broncos, they are looking tired there, Leo.
Yeah, they've got to hold off here because the try here, that's a big to go 0-4 in those 4 games. That's a bad look. That's going to make your finals push even harder. Go to Richards. He's back.
Here we go. On his back. We'll send it up again. We all know what happened there, but at least this stoppage will give the Broncos a bit of time to get some more air back in their lungs. As there we go. No try. take it back 10 meters. Let's go for third tackle. Coming across. Owen, lovely ball to Wally Allen. And he's on his back. And again, send it up.
They gotta check everything. There might be a blade of grass that touches that ball.
Again, this has got to be helping the Broncos, though. Tackle after tackle and getting a lovely little bit of a breather here. Going across, Blaine, just taking the settler. Yep. Oh, no need to send that one up to the bunker. Fifth tackle. Getting it back, Lee. Oh, Berkeley. And he's on his back. Oh, okay. Well, that was messy. Somehow the Broncos have survived it, and they now have to score 8 points in 5 minutes. And that's a great start to the set there from Callum Murray, almost up to the 50-meter line, and it's only the first tackle there, Leo.
Yeah, if they're gonna score now, if they're gonna score, they've got to score now. The Broncos fans, they're biting their fingernails. This is a chance to win their first game. If they don't win it here, then they're looking like they're going to go 0-4. And yeah, the Raiders' defense has been solid, but fourth tackle on their third, they need a big run here.
Oh, Simon Hunt, there he goes. Just unable to get that offload to someone in space, but Callum Murray here, this is it. Give it a good kick. And no. That's, well,
heartbreaking.
Yeah, heartbreaking. And of course, Owen decides to break up the gap just to put salt in the wound. You looking at these teams tonight, Leo, you can't fault the effort that the Broncos have had. They have fought their guts out tonight, and unfortunately, in this wet weather football, sometimes guts just aren't enough.
Yeah, exactly right, and I believe that's probably the best team in this put forward this season. I think that the Broncos, the rain was sort of a big factor in them today. Their attack wasn't slick like it was previously, and they'll get their first win sooner or later, as Ralph will take it up here. The Raiders, they're a good squad. They're a good side. So losing to them, it's not like you're losing to the worst team. They're a solid side. They'll be in the finals this year.
And leading into our final couple of minutes as Caleb Jeff does what he can and tries to get himself up the field. Looking forward to next week. Well, the Broncos, they are not going to have much to worry about. Actually, I'll come back to this because I'm trying to look at next week's games, and let's just say the website's looking a little bit interesting. So the Broncos, from all looks of things, they could either have the bye next week or they could be up against the Dolphins next week, depending on which one of these works. So if they do have the bye next week, they could definitely use that rest to just sort of recalibrate and, test out a few things to see if they can come back and score themselves a win instead of going 0-5 down at the beginning of the season.
Yeah. There are two options, rather stressing a lot or you're not stressed at all. Dolphins are a great side, and but you got to applaud the bravery here from the Broncos. They had a lead for a lot of that game as well, especially that first half. They really gave the fight to Canberra in Canberra, as we'll look at the stats now. And Mac, do you want to go through it?
Yeah, we had our 4 try scorers there for the Raiders, only the 2 there for the Broncos. But again, for a lot of that game, they spent most of their time on defense, as you look down there with the tackles. But we'll get there in a second. We've got weight of possession, the Raiders 55-45. Errors about the same, penalties about the same. Well, missed tackles heavily weighted there in the Broncos, and line breaks heavily there for the Raiders. So we'll go across to some individual stats here, and there we go. Riley Flynn straight up the top there. Not only 15 tackles, but 8 line breaks, and probably one of the reasons why Corey Bell wasn't able to get across the line as much as he threatened throughout the night, Leo.
Yeah, exactly right, and he really showed out. This was his legacy game Riley Fleeny showed that he can hang out there with the best of them. And look at the other stats. Wally Allen had a great game. 20 runs, 225 meters for a second rower. He took the game by charge, and the former captain also had 12 tackles, 5 line breaks, 2 missed as uh, Ralph had a great game, 51 passes, 12 tackles, none missed. Wild 17 tackles, 0 missed. Yeah, and look how much people had triple digit running meters, Mac. That's more than half their team. And that's how they got good positioning to win that game.
Yeah, they had a great back line tonight, but it was the forwards for the Raiders that won the game with just those powerful punches up the middle, and well, that defensive effort across the side as we go to the Broncos. And no surprise, Corey Bell up the top there, far away stripping the run meters, but 20 tackles. If you're making 20 tackles as a fullback, there is no way you can. Well, the fact that he made 221 line running meters is kind of phenomenal there from Corey Bell.
Yeah, exactly right. And Eddie Lewis, besides scoring that try, was a bit quiet in that second half, but he gave the Broncos the lead. He did everything in his power when he had the ball. Maybe for next week they can figure out a way if they have the bye or not. Figure out a way to get him more involved with the ball.
Yep. As we look down the line, we've got most of the people making plus 100 meters. The back line, the only forward making more than 100 meters there is Justin Plays, and well, Justin Plays and Eddie Oliver there as a lock. If they're your only forwards making those sorts of meters, Caleb Jeff, we'll give him a pass and say he made 100 meters if we round up mathematically. But the forwards tonight, they were just out muscled and outmatched. So that might be something that, unfortunately, when it comes to the trade window in a couple of weeks, Jack Carl might have to look into seeing if he can find some strength and some muscle to come into the team.
Exactly right. And like I said, this Broncos team is definitely not 0-4 worthy. This team is way better than 0-4, and it's only a matter of time before they catch form. But well-deserved win for the Raiders. They'll be looking back up to the top. And
that is everything for us tonight. I've been AMAC here and Leo St. Hendricks in the box. Enjoy the rest of your night.